boys and girls. There are many storybooks in our house, and we often read them. But there is only one storybook with stories written specially for you. Are you ready for one? Today's story is taking us to the country in Europe called Switzerland. Can you say that after me? Switzerland. Let's see who lives in Switzerland. Zoe. Zoe is 8 years younger than her brother, who is 15. What is her age? Right. Zoe is 7 years old, and she sleeps without a nightlight. She's not afraid of darkness anymore. She's not scared of shadows or spiders. She has never been afraid of water and swims really well. Even her big brother Noah often calls her Zoe the Brave. Yet at the beginning of this year, Zoe was feeling scared. I know you want to ask me, scared of what? What do you think? What could scare Zoe the Brave? Well, there is a place that can be scary for both children and adults. It's the hospital. Zoe had been to the doctor several times when she needed an eye check, medication for a bad cough, when she ate a pineapple and learned she was allergic to it. She also regularly went to see her dentist. She managed all those visits well. Mom or Dad were always close. If she needed, they would hold her hand. But this time, it was to be different. This time she needed to go to the big hospital, and she needed to go for a surgery. That meant Mom and Dad would have to leave her with doctors and nurses. They would have to wait for her while she's in the room called theater. Wednesday, the day of Zoe's surgery, came. It wasn't yet 7 o'clock in the morning when the doorbell suddenly rang. Ding dong, ding dong. Who is that so early in the morning? The whole family was woken up. Dad went to check the door, and when he opened it, there she stood, Grandma. She must have left her home before 5 o'clock to reach that early. What kind of grandma would I be not to see my Zoe the Brave on a day like this? She said loudly. I am not feeling brave today, Grandma. Zoe came to give her a hug. Well, I've expected that. No one has a smile on their face when they are to go to the hospital for a surgery. It's normal to feel the way you feel, Zoe, worried or scared. That's why I'm here. I've brought you something that might help. Grandma opened her handbag and took out a chocolate. Switzerland is a country that makes lovely chocolates. Did you know that, boys and girls? But Zoe's mom quickly reacted. Zoe can't eat chocolate before surgery. That much I know, smiled Grandma. It's not for her to eat. It's for her to put in her memory box. Hold on a moment. Zoe took Grandma to her room. I already have 2 chocolates like that in my memory box. She opened it. I know. This is the 3rd time when you need to get one. But when did I get the previous 2? Zoe couldn't remember. I gave you the first chocolate on your first day at nursery, Grandma reminded Zoe. The second chocolate you got from me on your first day at school. And today, on the day of your surgery, you need to get one too. But why when I'm not to eat them? For a simple reason. When I place a chocolate in your hand, it is not just a chocolate. It is a chocolate nicely wrapped. It has a packaging. See? On your first day at nursery and on your first day at school, You were like a chocolate. Today, on the day of your surgery, you will be like a chocolate again. Like a chocolate? Zoe did not understand. Yes, like a chocolate. On the first day of nursery and of school, you felt scared because Mom and Dad were to place you in the hands of your teachers and leave you in their care. Today, they will have to place you in the hands of doctors and nurses. That again is a scary moment. However, I want you to know that when they leave you in someone else's hands, they give you to them like a chocolate. That means you are nicely wrapped. Wrapped in what? Zoe was curious. In the loving arms of Jesus. Today, you do not need to be Zoe the brave. Today you are Zoe the chocolate, wrapped in the loving arms of Jesus. When Mom and Dad or others who love you cannot be with you somewhere, Jesus is there with you. While we will be waiting for you to come out from the theater, you will be inside in the hands of doctors and nurses, but also wrapped in the loving arms of Jesus. Remember, in the Bible, in Matthew chapter 28, verse 20, we read his promise, I am with you always. That means also today. Zoe and Grandma then placed all 3 chocolates into Zoe's memory box, and the family prayed. When Grandma left to catch a bus home, and maybe to catch some sleep too, Zoe, Mom and Dad left to the hospital. There in the waiting room, Mom and Dad hugged Zoe and then handed her to the nurse who was to take her for the surgery. As the nurse asked Zoe, "How are you feeling?" the 7-year-old girl responded, "I am a bit scared, but I also feel like a chocolate." Of course, the nurse did not understand, but you know, boys and girls, what Zoe meant. She meant that she was going for the surgery, nicely wrapped in the loving arms of Jesus. She knew that where Mom and Dad could not go with her, Jesus was going with her. I wish, boys and girls, none of you would ever need to go to the hospital for a surgery or any other reason. Yet I know some of you do need or will need doctor's care. I wish Mom, Dad, or another grown-up you love would never need to tell you, "Bye for now." Yet I know they need to go to work or somewhere else. When nurseries and school open again, you will go to spend time with your teachers. But in all those moments, when you are left in the hands of teachers, coaches, nurses, doctors, or someone else, remember, you always are handed to them as a chocolate, wrapped in the loving arms of Jesus. You cannot see him, but he is with you in the same way he was with Zoe. He promised to be with you always. To remember that, boys and girls, make a special picture frame for yourself. It can be similar to the one I made, or you can use your own fantasy. I folded a piece of paper like this, and then I used chocolate paper wraps to decorate the outside. I glued my picture inside and added some more decorations. See me being wrapped like a chocolate? Whatever type of picture frame you will make, do not forget to write Jesus' words there. I am with you always. And if you know someone who will soon go to the nursery or to school for the first time, or someone who needs to go to the hospital, make a similar picture frame for them too. They also need to know that on those days they will be like a chocolate, wrapped in the loving arms of Jesus. So may God bless you, my little friends, as you learn that Jesus is with you every time and everywhere. And I'm looking forward to our next story time soon. Bye bye!